Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios todo lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Be patient. We'll be at y'all in a minute.
Money work.
It's your boy.
Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah, no me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunes. Lunático.
Line then and now.
Say what? I had to show you your boy.
That's how you do it.
It tripped me out. Like, man, they so hard on that dude. That's crazy. Seeing our stars, or our music stars getting old. But I thought that shit was hilarious. I was like, Cedric is beloved, Genuine and shit.
Hell yeah.
He'd act like that. He was the best singer on earth. Like
that was my Chris Brown.
Right. Like the OJs to you.
Mm-hmm. Well.
Man, so whew, man, let me tell you, it's been a week, at least for me, because I stay fucking with people on social media and creating different discussions and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, boy, this Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan breakup got motherfuckers up in arms.
Don't it?
Man, and so my whole take, or just the basis of my take, was the fact that she's tripping. And it's a thing where often you see a lot of females, they don't know, or they don't really recognize when the fuck they won. And what you'll see out there is there's a lot of females that they'll say, oh, she's only 25, and she's too young to get married and all this shit. And the mistake that we make is thinking that we have all this goddamn time.
Yeah.
At 25 years old, she's still operating, and a lot of women that kind of encourage that, they're operating in a sense like children.
Correct.
And it's just like they really think that overall men are so expendable. Like, yo, there ain't that many Michael B. Jordans that you're gonna be able to run through, especially like given her track record. You got to consider that Lori Harvey, she's already looked at as ran through in a sense by most.
Yeah.
Guys peep that. One. Then you take the fact that, she is ran through. And what's crazy is you got to think this is a chick that done dated a dude's son and the dad, and been with Future. Like, so motherfuckers already got a view of her and shit. So to be able to get a guy that on paper, we don't know these motherfuckers personally, but on paper, Michael B. Jordan is about as good as you get. Like, that's Will Smith pre-slap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, come on. I mean, this dude, damn, everything's in a row, whatever. He still got all his teeth, his hairline still in, and so he's clean. He's an ascending star. He's rich. And
Sure.
I think what you see often is that it doesn't matter. Females will always find you expendable. And I said, okay, you give it 5, whatever year, I say 5 years, 10 tops. And we're going to look back and she's going to be another Angela Simmons. And what happened with Angela Simmons, people, they remember her whole relationship with Lil Romeo.
Yeah.
And now she ended up, I guess, going through her situation. She kind of regretted it. And then ultimately she came back with a kid in tow trying to get Romeo back. And Romeo was like, nah. And that's what I'm telling you, man, watch 5-10 years. Watch. She gonna have some trap rapper's baby, or it's gonna be some bullshit. And then females are gonna see. And so what you see what a lot of females try to do is they'll be like, oh, well, they're famous. Those are rich people problems and everything. I'm like, no, this is shit that we deal with on every level. There's not much difference between rich people besides money. They still deal with the same shit. And a lot of you females operate like this on a regular basis. And so, yeah, I don't know. I find it crazy. I find it crazy, the defense for, when also we know that if you flip the situation, if this was Michael B. Jordan, say, and he just wasn't ready, but she was finally ready. She'd already had her whole phase that we all know about and everything. And she was so ready and open, and we knew that she was ready to settle down. And that Michael B. Jordan was somehow like, yeah, nah, I'm trying to focus on my career, do what I want to do or whatever. It would be hell. It'd be all types of, oh man, niggas is always playing. Niggas don't know what they want. Niggas need to grow up. So it's like, that's another aspect of it that's annoying. And so because females never have that same energy consistently.
Yeah.
But yeah, you let me know what you think.
Towards the decision, people are going to say, well, she's young, so she still has her life ahead of her until she gets to her mid to late 30s. That's one. What you said in the beginning about Michael B. Jordan, that's true. She's going to regret that shit. And she might become bitter because of that shit. Because especially if he find him a 9, a 8, or a 9, it's over.
Michael B. Jordan could pull an ugly bitch. I'm telling you, about 5-10 years and stuff. If this dude's married with kids, and saying he pretty much has what appears to be, I would say, most people, a lot of people, large majority of people's goal. You want the husband, wife, kids,
Yeah.
Family, dog, picket fence, all that bullshit.
Correct.
So we fast forward and
That's the dream.
right, he has that, and she'll ultimately probably end up like a lot. We see this shit all the time. She gonna have some nigga's baby, and she's just not gonna have the same results. And regardless of what females think, I mean, oh yeah, I don't look as good as you look in your 30s as you do when you 25 in your prime. And that's the time when you're supposed to be, that's when you're gonna get your best offers. Like your best, that's your best time. Like that's your prime. Like there's no field in this world where your 30s is considered your prime.
Yeah.
And like it just anything. So I don't know what this idea is that, oh, we fuck around till we're 30 something. We focus on us. We're not even building real fucking people skills. We're so self-indulged. We're worried about us, what we're trying to get. We don't build any people skills. But guess what? The thing that's crazy in the midst of all that of the us, these motherfuckers have no problem having kids in the meantime. So they'll have motherfuckers kids, but all of a sudden the commitment and everything like that's holding you back. I don't understand a lot. Like I have a kid now, like I'm a single dad. I have a baby. I don't understand where the logic is in that to where you think, oh shit, I'll have the kids, I'll do that shit, I'll focus on my career, me, but I gotta wait for marriage. Hey, that shit doesn't even make sense logically.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now, I've been thinking about this for the last, let's say, 2 weeks or so. So, us younger generation, Gen X and under, we've been doing it wrong. You used to court a person, date them, go in a relationship, and then marriage. And then after all of that, you will have kids. This day and age, it's like you fucking to get kids, and you be like, fuck the marriage until after you get your after you try to get your shit together. And then you want to get married. And so I think because of that situation, a lot of relationships and a lot of potential building and marriage and finding that right person is wasted. Like nobody wants to get married no more. Marriage is not sacred. And so relationship building is not sacred. It's all about just I'm gonna get my money together. I'm gonna get my life together. You get what I'm saying? I know it took me a long time to build to this.
No, I totally get what you're saying. That's exactly because that's what I was saying. That idea that we just were focused on us so much that we're not even setting up foundations for families anymore. Shout out to Scott Free. But yeah, we're not even setting up foundations for families anymore on one end. And then this idea that somehow we're the best versions of ourselves in our 30s.
Yeah.
In that sense, it's crazy. Like I be thinking like, yo, by the time you get into your 30s, and this is probably male or female, you're a different type of asshole.
Yeah.
I know shit at our fucking age and shit, dude. Like me now, it would be work to be married to me more so than when I was more green and I was 25 and I was in that building zone and all that shit. The best version of yourself does not come in your 30s after you done fucking had all these traumas, after you done been ran through, after you done had everybody's fucking kids, after you done battled through life alone and shit, dealing with the different shit that the world throws at you and everything. Like the best version of you to marry is damn sure not in your 30s. And I don't know why, especially with black people, we have this thing to where we don't even consider ourselves like in an adult space for like real adult shit and evolving until we're in our 30s. They're
That's true.
they're talking about this girl, she's 25, like she's a child. Oh,
Yeah.
she's too young. Like, I don't know how long we think we get on this planet. But by 25, you should be figuring that shit out. And I don't know who's led like the charge to where females think that like 30s and shit, that's it. But it is, go ahead, it's just not.
I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, for us men, just until what, the 90s, college was a thing. Like, was part of the plan. Because in the 80s and back, it was you go to school, after school, you get that job. And you work that job and you move up until you grow.
Right.
Towards, black people, because majority of us worked factory, hospital, and maybe a couple of and blue collar, white collar and stuff like that. It wasn't that big of a it wasn't that big thing for us. That blue collar work, that was our bread and butter. That's where we made our money. And so, and a lot of women were housewives and they worked part-time jobs here and there in the 80s. And then when the 90s came, it was okay, we can work at certain industry companies on the phone, Southwest and Bell, AT&T, and then it was like, okay, if you go to college, you can promote yourself to move forward, to do more. That's when it really came like, okay, I want to make more money, I want to be a manager, I got to go to school. And then when these women start seeing that, they start telling these younger girls, hey, you don't want to be tied down to a man. You want to go to school. You want to make that thing. And now that's the thing now it's you go to school as a kid, you go to college. And while you're in college, you do whatever you got to do. Have, what I'm saying, enjoy your life. And then when you get close to your late 20s to your 30s, you start making your money. And then maybe in your mid 30s to late 30s, that's when you can fit a man in there somehow.
Yeah, but that's the thing. By the time you get to your late, because you're living life in all that time through the school and the extra bullshit, you're living life in all that time. And by the time you get 30, if you haven't built a sense or just any cooperation skill, it's not going to get easier when you're 30.
That's true.
It's like, that's the thing. It's like, I see how it happens and how it happened. And I see like Scott Free had mentioned segregation and all that. And that plays a part in it. But we're at a point now like where, okay, we see the fix. We should know better.
That's
and
true.
There's certain ideals that we should stop pumping to people.
Yeah.
It's just like wait until you're 30. Like I had a girl on my post earlier.
So true, Scott Free. 100% true.
And she was talking about like how she had three kids and the whole thing, and oh yeah, well this isn't true because now that I'm in my 30s, I get a lot of attention and so on, and I get proposals and offers and stuff, and I'm like, well, when you were in your 20s, because I knew that she was going to pretty much give like kind of like the scenario that you broke down. I asked her, I was like, yo, when you were in your 20s, were you trying to be married? Was that your focus? Was that the energy you was giving? Oh, no, I was trying to focus on me and do this. So I'm like, bam, You're not gonna sit here and tell me that in your 20s and shit that men were ignoring that version of, and she's a pretty girl too, still beautiful. But she there's no way you're gonna sell me that in your 20s that nobody wanted to ring up that version of you. And now they want to deal with this 30 plus version of you and stuff with 3 of other niggas' kids and every whatever else baggage you come with. Like that's the delusion to me. And that's fucking wild. Like I don't get it. I can see now, okay. If females was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this shit, me, focus on school, get my career and shit, and then they kept that shit clean in the meantime. You somehow you show up, you 31, 32, you start looking and like, you settling down. You ain't go out here and have all these kids. You ain't go out here and let 50, 1,100 niggas jump on you and shit. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
Because sex is more than just sex. And, a lot of people today, they're not connected to anything and shit, but there's energy and there's transfer when you having sex. But females ain't moving like that. These bitches are getting out here, getting ran through from fucking middle school all the way up to their extended childhood, which is their 20s. And then they get 30 and shit. And so now I got to take on the energy of everything that you done fucking been through. Oh, and then not to mention this shit, all this fucking school and education and shit that they praise up about black women and shit. These motherfuckers come with nothing but debt. You ran through. They come with kids. And somehow they still think that that's the deal. They really believe in that, oh, this is a package deal. Sell.
That's true.
It's fucking wild to me and shit. And it's crazy. The pushback that you get when you speak on this shit, they like, man, like they just be swearing like, oh, you don't know shit. You hating on women. That ain't always true. And I'm like, okay, there's always going to be exceptions. But we're talking about the general. In general, somebody like, like Lori Harvey, that's not a smart decision. Like we don't, and say it's plenty of fish in the sea. Well, like you don't throw the Michael B. Jordan fish back. Like that's just not what you do. And then it's crazy to me that women can't even as women say like, nah, she tripping.
Let me say this before you continue. It's because they think fucking potential is the same thing as relationship potential. So if that nigga giving you fucking energy, a lot of women think that's the same thing as relationship energy.
I told the girl that because she said, "Oh yeah," because she get plenty of attention and shit. I said, "That's your damn problem. Y'all think attention and all that different shit means options." And I said, long as you own a vagina, you gonna get attention. You gonna get people to fuck you.
Correct.
But there's no way in hell that, and these women will really try to sell you that they think that guys, or say, I would say like the guys that they would really want, that they would really desire. And that's the thing too, that they don't talk about, the settle. Because the older you get, the more ran through you get, the more kids you got, that's the more you settle. Yeah. So if you was getting guys up here in your 20s and all that, by the time you ran through with kids, you're not getting that same tier of guys. And that's the thing that they don't fucking think about either. They still see all the options. They like, oh shit, I got plenty of options. But ultimately you're settling lower because you really have no fucking choice to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I told her the same shit. Yeah, I think that shit equals options and shit. Like as long as you own a pussy and shit, you'll get.
This is how it go. You at your 20s, a lot of times you have all these options, and the people that want to have sex with you, a lot of times they're intimidated. So it'll be down there. Now, when you start going in your 30s, it start going like this. So all the guys that you wanted to marry, they're down here now. It's smaller, and all the niggas that want to have sex with you is right here. So
because in your 30s and females 30s, man, they can get plenty of dick.
Yeah,
that ain't even an issue.
Correct.
I be saying like it ain't no way, like it ain't no way, it ain't no way, and I'm just like yo, and they really get defensive about this and shit. Like I know as men, like I talk to men, I'm a man and shit. Like I'm not looking at no broad with 3 or 4 kids and shit. Like,
Man.
and I don't even expect women to necessarily look at me as a single dad and shit in the same space, but I do understand like as men, like we have it a little bit different in that regard because one thing with kids, not only do you take on that and you take all of females issue, but kids also add some more scars and stuff on that body and shit. That's another dude's wear and tear. It's crazy. It was really crazy to me that the girl that I was talking to earlier and shit, like she really tried to pass it because she was really pretty, and I'm just like, damn, you can't tell me that there wasn't men that didn't notice how exceptional you were in your 20s and shit, and wouldn't have took you minus your 3 kids and tried to put a ring on it. And she was like, oh well, shoot, my baby dads, they both wanted to get married and shit. I'm just like, yo. You can't make that shit up with these females, man. It's a constant state of delusion that they live in. That it's no really looking at anything from a real perspective. And they always, I mean, I don't know. I guess in a sense, if you can live in that kind of delusion, maybe it's a positive thing. I mean, maybe it keep you from hanging yourself or I don't know.
That's true, Scott Free. To a point.
Let's say the biggest, oh no, he said, in my opinion, the biggest problem with black women is they feel self-entitled. They think that they deserve something without earning it. Oh yeah, entitlement is a women's issue off top, but it's especially, I know dealing with black women, like we deal with a lot of entitlement issues. And even this, it comes with entitlement because women think that men are so expendable that okay, so what? Michael B. Jordan, so what? I think somebody commented earlier, and it looked like a female comment or whatever. It's always like, so what? And people really think that she's gonna get Michael B. Jordan, just going off of what we assume we know off paper. These two on paper. She just thinks she's just gonna be able to run up and get another Michael B. Jordan. That shit gonna wear thin.
That hold on. It's our Scott Free to this comment, it's our fault. And the reason why I'm saying that, because before we started this podcast, I used to tell AJ that it's our fault a lot of times that women act like that, because as men, we always said that pussy has to be cherished. We have to raise it on, put it on a pedestal. Like it's the greatest thing ever. And so a lot of times when women come to us, they think they're the queen or the princess, and that they don't have to do anything because their presence is all that they have to bring to the table or have to bring to the relationship.
Yeah, and I think you see that in grand fashion here. It's just more that putting them on a pedestal kind of thing.
Correct. And so it made them feel like that. It made them feel like, fuck it, we don't have to bring nothing but ourselves. And then what comes with us is conditions, but you have to meet our requirements first before you even unlock them requirements or them conditions that you want from us. And what I mean by conditions, normal things of being submissive, to being kind, being understanding. We have to make sure that we support them, protect them, and do whatever they like or
Right.
whatever they choose to cherish or in their goals on their list. And so I basically say, shit, it's our fault. And now we need to take that back. Not
Yeah,
to
but
take it
how?
back.
I mean, you do have a generation of now to where women they value everything.
A lot of times,
over family values, and then, and I guess you can say it's our fault in a sense as men, but really, who is teaching them this? And I
women.
don't exactly. I don't think it's the men that's out here, because men have an understanding. Young men that I've talked to, they have an understanding of that. If you get a good woman, and you hold on to them, even overall, as far, even with women getting further and further away from being more, or being traditional as women. Salute to Mr. Skinny. Men are still instilled with these values as far as how to treat women and everything, regardless of how fucked up we may be in parts. The fucked up shit that we do as men in general.
Mhm.
Sometimes the women that harm them and shit. Overall, our foundation, we're brought up more in a traditional sense still.
Correct.
But you
Correct.
have women now, and
Mm.
especially with the guidance of, other women, whether it be their mother, their aunt, just whatever in society. You have media compete with everything with women. Um, they value
Yeah.
everything over structure and family.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, and what you see often is, if guys can't accept that's where we're at right now, then you end up, looking like Michael B. Jordan. Because really, if you want to get to the root of it, Lori Harvey is more like side piece material.
Mm,
Just seeing how she moves and do all that shit. Like, this is a bit you keep on the side. Probably even break her off a little bit, if you got to, like one of them good side pieces that you go on vacations with and shit like that.
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
That I can
saying,
understand.
not just like a jump off where you just come over and smash her. Like, nah,
Perfect.
she'd be a
Jump off
good
the side
side
piece.
piece. Like,
So yeah,
yeah, we gotta,
I
you
agree
know,
upon that.
yeah, you take vacations with her. When you say,
Yeah.
I left home to be with my side piece. You one of those.
She like you in the. I get it. So basically, when she take a picture, your elbow in the picture, not your whole body. Your
Oh
elbow,
no! When
your
you on
hand.
vacation, you
Yeah.
in an
Yeah.
unknown destination.
This that type of thing. Like your
Yeah.
hands in the picture.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't try to put no ring on this motherfucker.
Uh. Yeah, I got you. That's true. Like she just. But you would think that maybe I don't know, maybe her dad or maybe her mom, you know what I'm saying, just told her to take her time. But how her mom is and the things that Steve Harvey's
Man, the
wife has
fact.
said,
Go
I would
ahead.
think she would try to find somebody. But what
You
do
would
I
think with
know?
her dad being Steve Harvey or whatever, like, man,
Yeah,
you would think that would hold something. Steve Harvey can't tell these hoes nothing no more. He can throw that book in the trash. I know that ain't. I know this ain't what he teaching his daughter.
daughters.
Yeah, there ain't no fucking way. Like, man, you got your daughter out here a whole bop in these streets, and then
Hmm.
you telling these women how to move. Like, hey, that shit crazy. That's all that. Yeah, Steve got to take that L.
Yeah,
But yeah, it really tripped me out. Like, this shit really created just a ton of discussion. And then they bring up the parallels. I seen one post where they say, like, okay, females can look at somebody like Future, and see where he's wrong. But then when it's Lori Harvey, the energy's not the same. And that's also what you kind of see, just a constant bias and inconsistent in logic.
Scott Free says, Jay Almighty. I got to disagree. Lori is never a side piece. She's the main course.
Man,
But
don't
the way how he put it, but you got to
yeah,
understand, there's a jump off.
right,
The this the girl that you just go on and fuck. But then there's a side piece where you're not in a
right,
relationship.
right,
Y'all just do things
right. That's what I said,
relationship
Scott Free.
things.
That's what I said, Scott Free. She level up. I give her that. Saying, you just don't smash her and drop her off around the corner type shit, or fuck her in the car, saying you get hotels and you go on vacation with Lori Harvey, saying you disappear and shit for a few days, and you make plans. Like that's what a real side piece is more like. Not saying I done that shit. I'm just saying like I just understand how the game goes. Like, and you you just should move, in a fashion where you're thinking like, oh man, I'm about to marry this motherfucker. Like, no, you just got to know. It don't matter how fine they are. You just got to know where females are at with theirs, because then how you looking stupid.
Correct.
And usually the most beautiful ones, the ones that we think like, oh my God, like those be the ones and shit that are side piece material. And then we, based off of like everything that we've been talking about and just how women more so come up with this idea of independence and their love for material and just a constant need to have everything and get everything that they want. Like a lot of women just aren't wife material anymore. Yeah. And that's something that guys got to think. Like, I made a post and I was saying like when guys propose to women, I said I think women are saying yes more so to the ring and the moment than the actual idea of being your wife and everything that entails. And that's where I think we are with that. Like, men really got to think about that shit. Like, women are saying yes to the ring and the moment. They're not necessarily saying yes to legitimately being your wife. And a lot of these women, you could probably say even most, are just not wife material anymore because they're not even working on these skills at all. And being a wife, that would start from coming up. You have to see examples of this. You have to be told this type of stuff. You have to, but and you got to understand, like, women are being told to bypass that shit completely. And men, you see men still trying to be traditional and make these women wives, and you see them where it's failing.
Okay. You done?
Yeah.
Okay. So first, I'm gonna end with the ending part. I'm always gonna blame us men because a lot of stuff is wrong. You can't say that for a lot of men. We, to majority part, had our fathers in our lives, right? So certain things they told us that we supposed to be, even though me, you, and Gerald sat down one day and decided what we're going to choose, what I'm saying, all that to determine who we are as men. But a lot of times, a lot of these men don't even know how to be traditional in a sense because they were raised by women. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women these days are raising their boys to be the men that they truly hate. Okay. Yes. So now, hold on. Do you guys believe in marriage? I don't think it's a lifetime contract. I was going to get somewhere into that. Yeah, I believe in marriage.
We'll get in that.
And he believes in marriage, but it's been a thing. And I like that you guys said.
But no, I was just about to say it is a lifetime contract. And the problem, I do believe in marriage. The problem is with marriage, and it ties into everything that me and Keys are talking about, is that people, for one, don't understand it's a lifetime contract. They also don't understand the work. They don't understand the cooperation, everything that goes into it. And once again, it goes back to the fact that, like, especially with women, we're bypassing these life skills completely. And we're telling them to go get careers and jobs and go to school and shit for 10 years on end, do everything. shit, if you want to have a kid, cool. It's your body, your choice and shit. But there's nothing around what a lot of modern women are being told or centered around having families and stuff. It's all selfish. And so this breeds a bunch of just selfish ass people, a selfish mentality. And that shit doesn't work in marriage. When people can get outside of themselves, man, marriage is great, but nobody is outside of themselves. Like everybody is self-indulged, and even the men are kind of forced to kind of fall back and kind of adapt to it in a sense, because this is what we're dealing with out of a lot of women. But overall, I mean, yeah, that's where marriage seems like, oh, this is a contract and this is a torture, because you get out of marriage or any relationship because you got guys that'll start talking about monogamy and polygamy and all that shit. And, you get out of whatever relationship what you put in. That's as good as it works. It works as good as the people that are in it, period.
Okay. 100% true. Now let's get into that, because everything that you guys saying, that's what I want to, but I want to get into a little bit deeper. When it comes to when you're in a relationship and you decide to find that you decide that, okay, I found the woman, right? And she's everything I feel she needs to be. A lot of times, and I'm going to say myself, that we never discuss with her what her obligations is to us when it comes to wanting to marry her. Like, we don't give her like, okay, are you going to be submissive? Are you going to treat us right? Because like I say before, a relationship and a marriage are two different things. Relationship is college. Marriage is the job.
And but you know why though? You know why a lot of guys don't do that shit? Because we're not taught.
That's what
And,
I'm saying.
and you know what we are taught though?
What we're talking.
Right. We're taught all the submissive shit to females.
Correct.
We're taught to submit. A lot of people, a lot of men, they don't understand that submission is a two-way street. So we're
Correct.
taught how to court and be submissive in a sense to female, but we're not even taught to really, or what really to expect from women and stuff and their job and all that shit. So yeah, I totally agree with you too.
And you should. But let me get into it, Akeem. Like, make sure that you talk to her. You sit down and you talk.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen when we get married. I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this. And I need you to do this, this, and this. Then you ask her to tell you what the things that she's going to do and what she expects out of you. And when you're going through a situation of arguing, you make sure that you guys have guidelines. It's a job. So you gotta handle it like
work.
a job.
Right.
It takes
work. And you gotta communicate. Like all the ceremony and the matrimony and all that shit is great. But when all that shit is gone, like it's a work. And y'all have to be willing to work, together. You have to know where she's at. Because like I said, often you will find women, and I don't know your situation personally, but women are ultimately saying yes to the moment that you propose, that everything that comes with that, and they're saying yes to the ring. But does she know what being your wife means? Does she have that understanding?
Correct.
And often you will find a lot of women don't, and they kind of think on that happy wife, happy life type of deal. But yeah, that's not the way that shit work. It's not happy wife, happy life. It's happy spouse, happy house. If she's not thinking like that and how she's gonna be of service to you as well, then yeah, man. I mean, you got some stuff to think about. But don't let people like with their negative shit, all that. Oh man, 3 months and you doing like, yo, man, fuck all that shit. Because really, when it comes time for marriage and you're serious and y'all on y'all shit, it really necessarily doesn't take a lot of time to know that,
Mhm.
yo, man, I want to be with this motherfucker. We gonna lock it in. We gonna do what we got to do. But y'all got to be on the same page. Don't just be throwing out rings because the pussy good or the head good. Because I'm telling you, shit, marriage, like how Scott was saying, that shit is a lifetime contract for one. And you got to be with a motherfucker that you can be bored with watching movies. You got to be with a motherfucker that you can be broke with.
Correct.
Motherfucker that don't take nothing and shit. You got a girl that always got to be excited. She always got to be entertained. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime deal, especially if you're of a religious type of background or you're approaching it like that. And those are vows to God. So now you're putting your relationship on the government and God.
Correct.
So just understand, like, y'all got to, it is something to take serious. It's not just a piece of paper and elevation or a badge of honor or a certificate you get for being in a relationship for a long time. It's a work. Two people coming together to kind of build an enterprise and leave a legacy.
Perfect. Bro, you get tax benefits for being married. You have to think of it as a job. It's a contract. So that means when you fail on that contract, there's situations, there's things that happen. So remember that. Like
Right.
if you're gonna go with this contract, there's things that happens after. If you have a child, well,
Because
you
legally married and being married are two separate things. That's something else people don't talk about.
correct. Correct.
Yeah, it's two different things. Because you can be married, you
Mm-hmm.
can marry, you can vow yourself and everything. What we do is we put our shit on the government, and that's a whole nother process. That brings in all types of different things. If y'all ain't here, brings on a whole different type of problems. If the shit don't work out, y'all decided y'all get bored, y'all not trying to do the lifetime contract. So yeah, man, y'all got to be on the same page. You got to communicate.
And Akeem, when it comes to sex, if you feel like you can't have sex with that you can't have sex with one single woman, please come to her before you get married and discuss that with her. Be
Man,
100% true.
because women more so, like, American type, like they're definitely into the monogamy thing, and they don't give a fuck how good of a husband you are. You could be fucking banging out the bills, laying good dick, providing everything, making sure birthdays are happy and Christmases are merry. The whole goddamn thing, boy. You cheat, all that shit's out the window, and they will ruin your fucking life for it. Black women also probably fucking kill you for it. Like, they're crazy. Like, I'm seeing stories all weekend of black women killing men or cheating and shit. It's just fucking crazy. Yeah, 3 months. She really worked for me. And as time passed, I realized I can work with this. When I needed or wanted something, she was there. Her character was better than Satan. And that's what I'm talking about. That's a plus. Because the fact that she was pouring in you, and y'all young, man, get it in, dude. That's something, and that's what I be telling younger people, because there's this whole belief, like, in your 20s, that you're really missing out on so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I got married young. I was married to my oldest kid's mom for 10 years, but the only regret, when it doesn't work out, is, you have the regrets because it didn't work out. But overall, it's not so much that you're missing out here in the world. Like, I don't regret it in that sense, because the world is full of pain, trauma, trial, tribulations, and all that shit. If you find somebody, the sooner the better, and you can't beat it. This world is hard. So for people to be acting like you're supposed to go through this shit alone, like, humans are not designed to be alone like
Mm-hmm.
that. And so for people to be acting like and telling you, yeah, do it alone and stuff, go through your 20s and shit, fuck off and shit. No, that's what I was saying earlier. By the time you're 30 and shit, and you move and you operate like that, and that's men or women, you're gonna become an awkward motherfucker to deal with by the time you in your 30s, and you're gonna be less marriage material.
That's true. That is true. There you go, bro. Like, we rooting for you, bro.
Hell yeah, man. Man, congrats, man. Yeah, make sure y'all talk, man. Make sure y'all stay fucking locked in. Um, yeah, man. Just communicate, man. I understand, like, learn everything just about each other, be in tune with each other, and know the little shit. That's the thing with relationships too. It's the little shit. People think it's the big shit, and you gotta roll out the red carpet and you gotta throw the rose petals. Sometimes it's just the little things. And especially if you get a woman that appreciates the little shit, just those little subtleties that like that she knows that you know her, man, it goes on, and vice versa.
Correct.
Yeah, life don't stop. But see, that's the thing, like younger people, they think that it's so much, they're missing so much sex, if anything, or they're missing the opportunity to go, I guess, do like maybe like the club thing or whatever, or just whatever they think they miss. And I'm telling you, it's not all that in a sense. Go ahead, man.
Can I say one thing that's important?
Go ahead.
It's on my heart since you've been talking. Make sure if you guys have an argument that you listen and you slow to react and you understand where she's coming from. Even though she might be wrong, it's probably things in there that she's saying that you need to pay attention so it can teach you how to correct her the right way. If I'm making sense, like you really got to listen to her. Because a lot of times,
Yeah, he's right. Because a lot of time, the best women, they're not. When it seems like they can be on your head, a lot of the time they putting it out in layman terms, like, yo, I need this. And as men, we could fall back and be so into ourselves that we don't even pay attention to that. We just feel like, oh my God, she's always nagging me and shit. But really she's just saying, yo, simply like, yo, I need this and that from me. I need this type of quality and care and concern and connection and stuff. And that's the type of stuff as men we also have to pay attention to.
And keep your arguments between y'all.
In-house, right?
Yeah, like you can talk to your boys, but don't give them major information, or family members. Don't give them major information. The reason why, because they're going to be on your side. You have some of like your main people that you know they're going to tell you the truth no matter what, but make sure that y'all keep it in-house first, that y'all try to work it out. Now, if it's a subject that y'all can't work out, then yeah, you might want to talk to somebody that you trust, that you can give information to, and they can put you on the right course, or you know what I'm saying, so you can work that situation out. And that's all I have to say. But we're rooting for you, bro. Like, no,
yeah, man. I think that shit is awesome. It's just nice to when you see like younger people not feeling like they have to go through the damn ringer before they decide to settle down. To me, it's one of the most irresponsible mindsets to have, and it's some of the most ill advice that older people, especially, give to younger people. It's fucking crazy. What did Scott Free say before you go to?
Hold on, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to Scott because Scott Free just been going on. So we're gonna get to Scott. I want to finish with Hakeem and make sure that.
Oh, okay, yeah, and he said, yeah, getting loud, and that's the thing. I always tell people that make sure like the love that you have, it doesn't waver. Like there should be a certain kind of regard that you hold each other in.
Yeah.
Like your wife and vice versa. you guys shouldn't get the version of each other that niggas in the street would get.
Correct. Ooh, see, man, you just
You know what I'm
no, you're
saying?
right. You're right.
Right.
You're right.
So it's
Like,
just like when you guys get in these arguments, you should have such a, I can't think of the word that I really want to use, but just you should just have such a regard for her that you wouldn't even disrespect her in a certain sense. You wouldn't necessarily lift your voice and everything, and vice versa. She, you guys just don't come at each other like that because it's a team thing first. It's you two against the world. You always
yes,
got to keep that shit in mind.
yes,
Above everything, it's you two. I don't care how many kids you guys have. I don't care about your parents, all that stuff. When you guys make that connection and you guys decide to go through with that, it is you two against all. You guys are figuring out everything together. You're bringing everything together. You're building. You're raising the kids. You're dealing with everything together. Remember that at the end of the day, it's always you two.
yes, and nothing values more than the other. So if you might be working and she's at home taking care of the kids, it's not like, hold on, let me get myself on the camera. Like
Oh,
your work isn't bigger than her taking care of the kids. It's the same level. The same
man.
level.
And that's, oh my goodness, I was going to talk to you about that too, because that's always a topic about, and I know we touched on it on one of the shows about how females can complain about the guys at work,
Mhm.
and they kind of look at our time at work as free time. And to that, I also wanted to say that, like how Keys just said, you have to have understanding of and an appreciation for each other.
Mhm.
That's how you avoid all of that shit. Like you
Yeah,
got to understand on her end, she got to understand, like, for example, if you're the one at work, it's not your free time. It's like you're going through shit, you're dealing with shit. But at the same time, even though it looks like she has the luxury of being at home and kind of doing that thing, you also have to respect the fact that she's dealing with shit at home. She's dealing with different stressors and triggers and stuff. So your dynamics are just different, but you
yeah,
both have to respect each other's job because one doesn't really work without the other. So say
correct.
if she is home, then understand what that is doing for you to even allow you the space to work and provide and do all that, and then vice versa, because if she's home, then she has to appreciate you working and doing the man thing so she can be at home and just have to, like, that's how that shit works. And that's what people usually miss out in that. And they just be like, oh my God, I'm raising the kids by myself. And it's like, oh shit, this bitch don't appreciate, man, I paid the bills. And like, and you're totally missing the point of how that works, the yin and the yang kind of thing.
Last thing I want to, I don't know, I think it's capitalize or go on what he said about being mad. When you're when you're mad, do the same things for her as if you were happy.
Yeah, there's no off time. There's no distance. There's no sleeping in the other room.
Yeah, all that shit because
Never go to bed angry at each other. Like, man,
that their feelings. That's all they are feelings. You still have an obligation to that marriage, to do your job, to do your part. I
right,
know it might hurt when you're going through a certain argument, but you still have to do your job. Still have to do your job.
right. And
That's all I
marriage
have to
is gonna
say.
have its ups and downs.
Correct.
It's not always gonna be perfect. And another thing where I was talking about where people get so selfish is like these days we're not willing to work for or through anything. If
Mm-hmm.
everything is not easy, if it's not entertaining, if it's not up, we're so quick to dismantle shit. And that's why I can salute you two, because I'm telling you as somebody that's older, like, for real, there's not shit out here. There's nothing out here in this world worth passing up on an opportunity for happiness, because even the people that I know that talk all that shit about marriage and everything and come at it maybe from a negative aspect,
Mm-hmm.
they're not happy.
At all.
They sound cool, like, oh man, fuck that. I ain't doing no marriage and shit. Damn, I'm just gonna fuck bitches and do it, but they're not really happy in a sense, like you see with people that are consistent and have somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same. It's a different thing. Um, and so yeah, just man, I can't salute y'all enough. Man, we could probably go on all night just giving y'all advice and well wishes and all that shit. But
Yeah. And therapy is your friend.
yeah,
Get a therapist.
don't be scared of that premarital counseling and therapy. Man, do what it takes to really make sure that your bond is just solid.
Correct. Now, fucking scot free. Okay, let's go. Because you said a lot, my bro. And you wasn't ranting. I just wanted to make sure we got him straight because we stand tall for black love.
Man, all day.
Okay, so let's go through it. Currently, sluts run our society, getting booty shots, fake eyes, lashes, tummy tucks. Vanity is all black women care about. Some, it's basically like how people talk about rap. They basically say gangster rap is so terrible, da da da. But they say basically rap is this, it is. But we have so many different genres of rap. But gangster rap is front, the front line of it. So
Okay.
it's basically the same thing. So them big booty women and the fake eyelashes, all of that, those are the women that they throw out. But majority of the real women don't even want all that.
But they
They
all think along the same lines, and that's my problem. You
the
could put a
reason is
you
the
could put a
reason
you could put a hoe, a church girl, and say like a regular just hometown girl in the same room, and they all pretty much have the same ideal. They all coming from the same point and shit. The hoe thinks that she deserves just as much as the educated girl and shit. She thinks she deserves the same thing. Like it's no, I don't know. It's a crazy thing just talking to women from different walks and shit. Like their mentality, it doesn't waver. Their humility doesn't waver. It really doesn't matter. They're all, even though you have these different types, at the end of the day, they're all one and the same. Those girls that don't necessarily want the booty shots and all that shit, they're gonna defend the girls that got the booty shots.
they is because they all fucking the same dude.
Right. And
That
that's the
ain't
fucked
shit.
up thing too.
That ain't shit, nigga. That's why.
Yep. They're all fucking the same type of dudes. It's fucking crazy.
They would risk their vision or life for beauty. I don't understand. That I don't understand either. I don't get it because a
Motherfuckers are
lot of
vain as
times,
shit.
a lot of times they say they're not doing it for us. They're doing it for them and their girls. So I don't get it because a lot of times we don't want all that big booty. Sometimes we want the back in the '90s girl body.
Man, I be telling them too. I'm like, y'all purposely say like, oh well, it ain't for you. That'd be the first thing out of their fucking mouth and shit. So I'd be like, yo, I don't. Let's see. It say Jay Almighty. I totally agree with everything he said, but some black women consider you a cornball if you hold your hands or open card. Yeah, but I
That's
mean
true.
that's what it is and shit. Like, oh man, that's why I said when we first started the show, I was just like, yo, it's been a long week, like talking on this subject because women or black women, they tend to define issue with whatever the hell you do that's diligent as a black man. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, they really uplift and exalt the worst of us and
Yes.
then paint us all in that light of
Yeah.
like the deadbeats or the super thugs that just never get it right. And, like those type of guys and shit. And And then when you speak to this stuff, you know, it's the same way that we are and stuff. They'll call you corny and shit. They'll try to paint you out. Oh, you must be gay. You must hate black women and shit. Then these same women will turn right around and be like, oh man, how come men don't never express how they're feeling? Because you're calling me, you're gonna call me a goddamn faggot and shit the minute I point out what I don't like about your ass.
So true.
So it's just like, man, it's just one of those things. It's becoming more and more difficult, just in my experience, just being single and everything, just dealing with black women on a real level on a lot of this stuff, because I don't even think black people as a whole could even advance any further until we get to a point to where we can kind of see like, yo, where we're fucking up and really take accountability. And
Correct.
black women are not doing that whatsoever the fuck ever.
Now this, I'm gonna tell you, Scott Free, man up, my nigga. Like you can't be afraid to marry. It's a great fucking thing. It's like one of the, besides having kids, it's the greatest thing ever if you find that right woman. And it's your part to make sure she's that right woman. So that means you have to tell her exactly what you want from her. And in that when you're in a relationship. Now, if she doesn't if she doesn't go with it, then you know she's not the right woman for you, bro.
Damn. And it's really that simple. And that's a thing that you see with guys. A lot of men are just real passive now when it comes to even, you know, dealing with black women. They're so passive and shit. Like motherfuckers, they don't say anything. They don't make it clear what's expected, what's needed. And for some reason, as people and shit, we get clingy and we scared to move on. But just like he said, like, man, sometimes you gotta be, can't be scared to move them the hell along. If they're not on your program, you're the man in the situation. So yeah, you got to man up on that one and shit. Like, what are you scared for? You a man, you know what you want, you know what you need, you know what you require. She gets on your program or she gets the hell on. It's that simple. And I tell women, there's nothing wrong with getting on a man's program. Shout out to America's Most for stopping through. But yeah, I tell women all the time, because women hear me say it like that, and then they think like, oh my God, because the minute you mention any type of submissiveness to women these days, it becomes an issue. Like, like, you know, they automatically think you pulling out the slave contract. And it's like, no, there's an order the way things work. And when men take their place, the right woman is going to get with it, period.
Correct.
If you're on your shit. So all that, like that submissive shit, it just doesn't, it doesn't matter. If a woman is not willing to get on your program, then you just, you know, you got to kind of let her go do what she do with them lame dudes. Don't sit there and tolerate no shit or settle, because there's plenty of women out here that do want to do right. And, you know,
4-1.
Right.
Keep going.
But yeah, no, that was it. Just the fact that there are women. There's just no reason to be scared. The things that to be scared of in marriage, I think, would just be, you know, a lot of the shit that you really can't predict. But going
nigga, you from St. Louis, nigga? What the fuck, nigga? You better not be scared, my dude. What the hell wrong with you, nigga?
Man, trust me, man.
I ain't back in the city.
I'm in Vegas and shit. What do you think we see out here? Man, these Vegas girls, like, man, it's different, man. They don't even try.
Man.
They don't even try anything out here. Like all these Vegas girls and shit, they turn straight to hoeing and shit as soon as they get 18, if not sooner.
He ain't lying though, but
it's fucking terrible, man.
You saying Ferguson, you know I'm gonna say St. Louis. St. Louis wild as fuck though. So I understand. Shit, I
can imagine you niggas put all them extra R's and shit on everything and shit. I can imagine talking to a broad like that all damn day.
It's a matter where you stay there. It's where you stay. Like since he in Ferguson, it's like it's touching the city and the county. So you have some people probably rush with the ERs and some don't. But it's like if you mainly in the city and in North Side, you usually talk like that. Some people just talk proper as fuck. They have a little country twang here and there, but they talk.
Right.
It's, so it varies. But that's crazy, Sky Free. Yeah, I feel your pain though, bro.
Yeah. I think it's crazy too, because I don't know. I just think like reflecting back just on my life and marriage and everything, I be thinking like, shit, man, I feel like I got a pretty raw deal. And so I'd be surprised to hear people talking about marriage and the way that they do. And then me, I'm able to kind of be like, no. Like I would think I would be like, oh fuck, nigga, I'm terrified. But I mean, it's not the case. Have I don't know, Scott Free still with us. Have you ever been married?
He said this is what he said. You probably got to ask him. Maybe he might
Oh,
if you catch it.
oh yeah. Well, hopefully you catch it and stuff. Not, but yeah. And that was another crazy thing. Like talking to one of my female friends. She's
Mm-hmm.
never been married, but she was so out on it, like just based off of like shit that she's seen and people that she knew and seeing people get cheated on and that whole type of thing. And I think that's crazy as fuck. Then so you know what I asked her? I said, well, do you smoke and drink? And then, she was like, yeah, I smoke.
He said never been.
Yeah, see? And that's what I'm saying. And so like she said, yeah, I smoke and drink after 4 before or after 5 before 4 a.m., like that, being funny. And I'm like, that's crazy because all the shit that we hear, especially with black people, we lose a lot of black people due to smoking and drinking and all that type of stuff. Then you hear so much, between like drinking and driving accidents. You hear all the health risks, just different type of things like horror stories when it comes to alcohol use and even marijuana use or whatever the hell you're on, whatever your vice is. And
Mm.
I'm like, but yet that doesn't deter you from turning up after 5 p.m. till 4 in the
Mm.
morning at all. But stories of marriage that aren't favorable, that allows you to cheat yourself out of an opportunity or an experience. And then ultimately you have what to show for it. Because it's like, fast forward, it's not like she, from what I know, has anything necessarily set in stone. Like I wouldn't want to speak on her and shit like that. But like she has nothing to show that really like she dodged some sort of bullet by being that scared of marriage. Like with that logic, with that same logic, it's like, damn, what I'm saying? You would drink and smoke and still turn up and it's no concern. But you
Mm.
let other people's opinion on something that you never did in that regard possibly alter your life. And I think that's just crazy that people have that. Like they just have all these fears. And I think another problem too is I think negativity and shit like that always has a way of seeping through rather than like I don't know. I wish married couples, like happily married couples, I wish that they were the ones that, or maybe they would speak out more. And it's weird. I think like married couples, like if they're happy, they kind of like they just dip and then they kind of I don't know, just fall into their shit, and then you just see all the horror stories from the cheating and all that shit from the terrible couples, and you're like, oh fuck that, I ain't doing that shit. And I think that's how people roll. But man, I don't know. And I'm just saying, as a motherfucker that had what I would call a terrible fucking marriage, man, I wouldn't be scared.
Bro, you got in your bag with that one. Great analogy. Like real shit. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, don't be scared, bro. Like, I know in St. Louis, I can say because I live there. Like, most of the time, people get married because they had a kid with somebody. Basically, we always do it. We do shit wrong in our city.
backwards as fuck. We like, oh shit, well, we got the kid on the way.
Most
Gonna
of the
do
time in
this.
St. Louis, you had like he was just saying, like you had sex with somebody, and so she's pregnant, and now oh shit, I got to do the right thing. Totally
Right.
did it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Second is if it's based off religion, we get married because the old people told us to get married, and only thing she
Man.
was at first was a fucking jump off, somebody that we was just fucking.
Man.
And they told us if y'all keep fucking and again you had a baby or something,
That's the
y'all need to get married.
worst. Man,
Again, wrong.
them church folks will really have you fucking marrying the wrong motherfucker like I'm talking about fornication and you up there feeling guilty in church and now you marrying some bitch that you should have just oh man, yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, so Scott Free, don't just make sure when you get married you do things right. If you don't know, like I'm going to say right now, listen to the playback, listen to everything we said to a king, and that basically gets you started on what you really need to look for when it comes to choosing a wife.
Yeah, exactly. Because it don't get easier as you get older.
Fuck no.
I really don't know why this is the sentiment, especially with black people. Because, like I say, I always try to focus on us. I don't know why that shit is even being fucking taught. You do not, and motherfuckers can look me right in my goddamn face. You do not become more marriable the older you get.
Man.
And I'll even use myself as an example. I know for goddamn sure at my age and shit, 40, I'm nah. Like, and I'm not saying like I'm a bad dude in that sense or whatever. Like, but it's a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm. It is. I, I I totally agree.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
it's a whole different thing. Me at 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, it's like, come on. That's a whole different dude. That dude is damn sure making sure he's holding opening doors, holding car doors open, pulling out chairs. That guy is nice. He's green, optimistic, the whole thing, dude. By the time you get in your fucking 30s, and then you ain't optimistic and no more, and then you don't have no fucking hope.
No, you want shit
And
the way you like it and
right,
keep it like that.
right. And then you think somebody gonna marry that? Y'all motherfuckers got to be crazy to be taking and shit, and then telling young people like, "Yeah, man, shit, your 20s is your time. Where you supposed to be doing do." And then with females, it's even fucking worse to tell them that and shit because gravity completely betrays y'all once y'all start climbing into your 30s.
Oh, and you done? You done? I know why. Okay, you remember when you saying about the 20s? You know why? Because the people that didn't go to college, right? They did get married and they start dating and they had kids and whatever. So the people that didn't go to college, they're married. Their friends that did go to college are out there partying. So there's where that's another reason where they got the concept of, oh man, you got a date when you're 20. Oh damn, my nigga, you 80 baby in the building. He 39.
Right. See? So yeah, man, shit. You should know what the hell I'm talking about.
I know, to go off subject, I'm sorry, Scott Free. Just put yes or no. Did you ever go to the monastery? Keep talking. I just because
No, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Like, motherfuckers out here and shit is living. They know. And I think it's crazy to try to pass off the idea in a sense that you're just totally more marriage material the older that you get. That shit is fucking crazy because that's why, like how Scott Free, 39 and shit, the longer you live, the more you see, the more trauma you face out here, that shit puts you back.
yeah.
The
Well,
longer I'm single and shit, I can see myself not wanting to fucking deal with anybody. It's a
okay.
bad space. I don't recommend that shit for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Man, get that shit in, man, and lock it down. That's why I was fucking happy for Akeem. Like, man, like, yeah, like, get that shit. hold it down. Because it doesn't get easier the older you get. You get fucking crazier. You get nuttier and shit, nigga. This world is fucked up. It's full of fucked up people. Most of the people that you're going to meet, whether it be male or female, they're going to fuck you over. They're trying to get something out of you. They're trying to use you. Like, life is just fucking hard and shit. You living in a time now and shit where inflation is up on everything, and motherfuckers in some places paying looking towards paying $10 a gallon for gas and shit, and you motherfuckers is talking about independence and alone and shit. Are you fucking crazy? Like, get real. There's nothing that humans even do as a fucking species that's just necessarily independent. It's like, why are we teaching our youth, especially, this bullshit?
Especially if you're black. Why are you teaching that?
Man, black people are separated enough. So you mean to tell me we telling our women to bypass fucking family structure and family values to go out here and get college debt to work a fucking job instead of building possibly with a man maybe and shit, and maybe having something of their own that they could pass on to their families or something?
Shit.
Like, man, y'all motherfuckers got to get real.
Let's expound on that. So you basically want to go to college, work, and then get a job, have debt, and try to make, of the average, $30,000 to $50,000. We're basing on average of statistics of what they say.
All right, you're not wrong, because most of the shit that a lot of females go to college for and shit, it don't be like no real shit that really make the motherfucking world go round like that. So, man, it's a ridiculous mindset. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Basically, that you're going there instead of building, and probably if you had a man that averaged around the same, y'all can make $100,000. Y'all can average $100,000 a year, like that shit, and you can build the same. You can build and more with that man.
Right,
that's crazy.
But they're not even teaching that shit
at all.
We're just bypassing this shit with our women, and I just think that's fucking wild. But it's crazy because somehow through all of it, men are still taught tradition, and I just think it's wild. See, Scott, he's still with us. All right. See, I have PTSD. I don't trust some black women because I was dating this girl. She got pregnant, and she was popping pills, smoking weed, and drinking. She had a miscarriage. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. I dealt with a drug addict and shit, and that shit is life changing. She was on meth, and that was just a tough one. I ask females, I'm like, hey, what the fuck are you on and shit? I check medicine cabinets. I see a bitch purse open, and I see her pills in a purse. I'm Googling generic names and all that shit, bitch. What are you on? Yeah, I don't play with drugs at all, man. I'm sorry. You had to go through that. That shit will traumatize you different, dealing with motherfuckers on shit, especially when it cost you something. Like in your case, a child, or, it could cost you other things and shit, just dealing
like
with
your mental health.
Yeah, just boy, woo. Yeah, but all females ain't on drugs and popping pills and shit like that. So it's just like you got to look past that. But I'm telling you, don't be scared to fucking check some cabinets and shit. You over there fucking and doing your thing and shit. You get up to take the piss and wipe your dick off and shit for a second. Go ahead and crack the medicine cabinet open a little bit and shit. See what that bitch on. You see her purse open and you see that little brown colored bottle with the white top. Nigga, read that motherfucker. Google some shit. Well, I done found out bitches is crazy and shit. They ain't gonna tell you. They'll be sitting in that motherfucker. They have you, man, thinking whatever, you about to be in love and everything. These bitches won't even tell you they fucking crazy and shit. Purse full of fucking Prozac. Won't even say a motherfucking thing to you. Boy, you gotta be resourceful. I'm trying to tell you, shit. Y'all motherfuckers may think that shit's funny. It ain't funny. A bitch won't tell you she won't tell you she on medicine. These bitches will not tell you. Be on full fucking medicine, knowing that they belong in a fucking asylum somewhere and shit. won't say a motherfucking thing, and then blame your ass when the relationship don't work. Boy, man, yeah, trust me, I know what the hell you check them medicines. Ask them what the hell you on, what do you do, and shit. Watch when they be drinking and how much they smoke, and yeah, it's just some real shit. I ain't even trying to be funny. That's a fucked up thing. I ain't trying to be funny, boy. Woo.
Scot free. I had that same thing on not towards drugs. I don't want to mess up the moment, but keep going. But basically, I've been through your
No, go
same
ahead.
situation.
No, you can say what you got. What
Okay.
you mean about the miscarriage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's a difficult thing, especially just man.
I'm not even talking about like with Karina's situation. Before I started dating Karina, I started talking to my crush. Oliver, stop. I started talking to my crush, and we were, you know what I'm saying, going on and off, whatever. I got back into trucking, and I was on the road for like 3 months. I came off. She was pregnant, and she told me she was pregnant. Came back like a month or two. She was over. She spent the night over her ex-boyfriend house, and the reason she told me is because shit hurt. But she told me because she said she was lonely because I was over the road. That normal shit. Hold on, that's normal shit. So I was like, fuck it. I left, got back on the road, didn't come back for like 6 months because I was trying to make money. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna whatever. We got cool on the phone, everything was straight. It was winter time. Basically, I got back to St. Louis. I was sending her money before I got back to St. Louis, like $200, $500, $600 there for college and to eat and to, you know what I'm saying, make sure everything is maintaining the baby. This is what I'm thinking. Her ass basically, I forgot that clinic in U City. You know what I'm saying? Skyfree, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's a small clinic in U City. Basically, she went there to get the baby. She basically killed the baby.
Yeah, an abortion.
Yeah.
Oh,
Without me
wow.
knowing. So
I've
I'm
heard
thinking,
story. I didn't even know you went through that, man.
and so look, before I even got to the city, she was sending me pictures of her showing her belly. So, but she already killed the baby. So she's sending pictures, getting me like she like she was pregnant. And then when I finally get there, she tell me, like, that shit blew. I was so fucking heated.
I
I was
bet.
so fucking mad.
And she's basically, that's what I was telling my boy. I'm like, dude, why isn't there jail for bitches like that?
Man, my whole mindset changed on how I look and see females. So when he says PTSD, I totally understand,
Yeah,
because it's like you don't trust the motherfucker after they do something like that, because you want to build a relationship, and you see that, like, as a man, women don't understand that we want to have a child. And it's not like we
yeah,
just want to have
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I got you.
it's not like we wanted to have kids here and there. We want to have a family. Let me say that. Let me retract child and let me place in family. We want to have a family, but it's so hard this day to trust women.
Yeah, shit, man. Yeah, no, I totally get the PTSD part. Yeah.
And a lot of
That
times
shit.
I don't, I'm sorry. A lot of times I don't talk about this. It's not because of what I think my friends going to think, because I know Jay Almighty, Power Free, Doe, all my best friends, my day ones, they love me no matter what I do. Like,
Right.
no matter what I go through. So it's not like, because I'm from the old mind of, I don't have new friends. I only have them. I don't want no new friends. It's
Right.
cool. I can have, but I don't want no new friends. I just want them. So
Right.
like, I know that they're gonna hold me down, but that shit, I just held it in so much because that shit hurt, bro. So when men talk about shit like what Scott Free talked about, that shit is in my heart, bro. Like,
Yeah,
but
that's
but
just
don't be
fucking rough.
scared of marriage. Don't please don't be scared of marriage because
Man.
of that situation, because of that trifling bitch. Please don't be scared.
Because what they say, you giving the victory to something that don't really deserve it.
You deserve it. Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, that evil wins if you're sitting back and you're scared to go and be happy and allow yourself a chance at happiness. That evil prevails and stuff. It did what it was supposed to do.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that shit is tough. That shit
Yeah,
is really
I didn't
fucking.
mean to bring everybody down, but I just want Scott
Nah.
Free to know, like, I see what you're going through, but please don't let that stop you. Please. Black love needs to happen. It's just
Right.
not. I know it's you personally, but it's for more. So Scott Free, I don't know if you have family, like little cousins, brothers, whatever, and sisters, like, but they need to see that black love still exists because so many people are trying to knock that down. Like, please, if you find a woman that can treat you right, let her do that shit. Let you know what I'm saying? Let her show that she fucked up. That's the best way to put it. That's just like saying, shit, I got into a car accident and I'm not gonna drive cars no more. I'm gonna ride the bus no more. And you, if you from St. Louis, you know how them buses and Metrolink is, my dude. Fuck no,
Yeah,
I'm
you
hopping in
just
another car.
can't be ruled by fear.
Hell no.
So, I mean, if y'all take anything from that, just part of just talking about um, how men feel on it, I think it's real good because I always tell people, like, men do have feelings and shit. And we're thinking and learning how to process different shit and get past things as well. So, yeah, I
I
think
let
it's great.
JJ.
Oh man, who you think it
See,
is?
you see that nigga look?
Who
You
you
see
think
how?
this is? Who you think this is? I tell you, man, Boston in 6. What y'all on? Oh, Golden State. But yeah, sure, I can talk about that in a second. But yeah, don't be ruled by fear. If y'all don't take anything from this segment and just stuff that we sharing and shit, like I was ranting too. Like, nigga, that shit hurt. Nigga, shit dealing with motherfuckers on drugs and shit. Nigga, I was ranting. That was not a comedy segment and shit. Like, man, uh, yeah, man. But just don't be ruled by fear. But yeah, how about them Celtics? Boy, hell yeah. On to lighter things. How about them Celtics? That's right. I tell you, our Celtics in 6.
No, don't please
You
don't listen to
can't you
him.
can't you can't have no defense, no interior presence, be a terrible rebounding team, and just pray to God that these motherfuckers shoot the lights out for 3 for 7 games or best out of 7 games. It's a lot to ask for. Not saying it ain't possible, but it's just a lot to ask for. And we already know that without a fourth superstar on that team, Golden State is extremely beatable.
And what fourth superstar are you talking about?
I'm saying, like, really, you could put anybody in that space, but with
Yeah, you
Kevin
could put
Durant,
Damian. Yeah,
you
but you
know,
could put
it
Damian
put
in
them so far over the top. It made them so um it just made them such an offensive presence
there.
that it didn't matter. That's just too much to have Clay and Steph, and then you add Kevin Durant to that, the dynamic that Draymond Green, it's way too much. It's unfair. And that was the thing. So it actually would mask a lot of their inefficiency because their offensive rating is so through the fucking chart. You're just not going to be able to outscore them. Without that type of presence, Golden State have always been beatable. You give LeBron a healthy Cavs team in 16, they probably win that series handedly. They come back in what was that 2017 or whatever, like the next year, and they come back from the 3-1.
Yeah,
Then they went and added KD. If they didn't add KD and if they didn't add KD to the Warriors and shit, LeBron probably be sitting on 7 rings right now.
Yep, but they did.
Easy.
So
if you have a healthy Cavs team and didn't add KD, LeBron's on 7 rings right now. We ain't even talking about that. Oh, but Jordan got 6 rings. Easily.
Dame is my favorite player. I hope he goes to the Knicks.
He said Dame's my favorite player and then just wished complete bad on him. That's fucked up. Like, LeBron's my favorite player. I hope he goes to the Kings next year. Like, who says that? Oh God, the Knicks are trash.
Yeah, if Dame, I hope he goes to. I don't know, maybe
dude.
Jersey.
Man, they would have to give up a lot probably to make that happen, huh? Jersey is so stupid, dude.
They just give him Kyrie.
They're dumb. What are they now? Brooklyn? Shit, like
yeah, Brooklyn. That's what I mean. But let's be real. New Jersey Nets.
Man, they're so dumb, dude. That team would have been formidable in the East here today if they didn't do that Kyrie KD deal.
KD, I thought KD,
and it's kind of KD's fault.
KD was a free agent, I thought.
Yeah, but they had to get like part of getting him to come, I think, was having Kyrie. And that threw off, it's all like money and all kinds of shit involved in that shit. Like they really had a formidable squad that was really coming up. And they fucked that shit off for the idea of like, oh, let's pair KD and Kyrie together.
And see,
do that.
Yeah. I thought that when they were going to do it, they were just adding them two because I thought them two were free agents. But like you said, they took people out to add them in, and that's what happened.
Right. They were kind of coming up in a sense like how we see how Boston has came up.
Mm-hmm.
How Golden State came up, like, through, drafting and just doing things kind of what they say the right way and shit. Like that's where Brooklyn was at. And it's just crazy. They just totally squandered all that shit. And I said from jump, it's not going to work. I said, one, because Kevin Durant is just not that dude. He's not a leader. And then Kyrie is just Kyrie. Kyrie is good for about 30 games, 30 wins a season by himself. Outside of that, he's either injured or finding some other reason not to come to work. I was like, this is not going to work. And now look at him where they at. They don't even know if this motherfucker is going to pick up his option. Ben Simmons is out here throwing his back out, not even playing basketball. It's just a lot of bullshit.
I'm seeing a lot of trade rumors. They're saying Kevin might go to a fucking.
What you hearing now? I heard what's it? I seen some shit about Memphis.
Worse than that.
Or he said that he wanted to play with Ja Morant or some shit. I'm just like, oh, that's random.
Worse than that. The Lakers.
Oh, that ain't happening. I already know that ain't happening. That's probably like a fake ass page saying that.
I don't know if heavy.com is an official thing, but it's on Heavy.
Yeah, that ain't happening. I don't know. I'm not really a big Kevin Durant fan like that. Like, I wouldn't even be excited about that.
I ain't gonna lie. I think he's an awesome shooter. I'm
Yeah,
always yeah, and I like him because he was part of the Supersonics. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
before they before they were traded. So
To what, OKC, they became the Thunder.
yeah, yeah. Spurs has always been that team. I don't know who that is, but some of these people I'm not gonna say. But yeah, that's what I see. I see the Lakers. I see New Orleans. I don't think that's gonna happen. But let me say this. I predicted the Celtics. I predicted who won the NBA championship last year. What team was that?
That's fucked up. I don't remember who won the ring last year.
We know who he is. I can't remember his name. Oh,
Didn't Giannis and them, the
yeah,
Bucks?
yeah,
Yeah.
the Bucks when Jason Kidd was coaching. Then I predicted that. Okay, I'm gonna predict now. So it's right here. It's right here. So it's recorded. If Charlotte gets all three ball players like they're trying to do, everybody watch the fuck out.
I want to see it. Oh, I want to see that shit. All the Ball brothers
Yeah,
on
if
one
they get
squad. I want to see it.
watch the fuck out.
But they're coming up the right way too. Like they're kind of they creeping up too.
And it's
You know
already two on that team. So we just need one. They just need one more. It's gonna be
who they got to
stupid.
get? They got
Yeah,
to get
but
Lonzo over there, right?
um, it's no
Do they?
Lonzo's the daddy.
No, not Lonzo. No, Lonzo Ball is the first one. The big head, light skinned. Well, they
No,
all big.
the older brother. That's the first. If you're talking about
Ain't that Lamelo? Because they got I
Lamelo
don't
is,
know these motherfuckers' name. One is like Mello. He's there. He's the youngest one.
yeah, I think the youngest one plays for New
Charlotte.
Orleans. Yeah, no, plays for New Orleans.
No, he's on Charlotte.
Hold on.
And then I think they had the oldest brother, and I think they cut him. And then Lonzo is in Chicago.
I'm saying there's. Oh yeah, you're right. I apologize. There's Lonzo, Lamelo, and LiAngelo.
Yeah. And I think they cut LiAngelo, but man, I would like to see all three of them motherfuckers together. That shit would be dope.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what their Jordan wanted. That he want all of them on one team. So I don't know, but if that happens, I'm telling you, they're gonna rock this shit. I'm telling you, watch what I tell you. Them boys are gonna rock it. He said, "Should New Orleans sign Zion?" I haven't watched Zion in a
No,
minute.
not for because they're talking about like all this money and giving these guys all these type of like max type deals, but it's like none of these guys are really proving or showing anything in a sense. So it's just nah. And then ultimately he's probably gonna end up having to move on and start new somewhere. Like that's the problem with these guys that can't, stay healthy, I guess, it just makes them a risk, I think.
Yeah, yeah, you ain't lying. I'm trying to see, but yeah. So also they cut him. I thought, yeah, but I predict that. I think they're gonna play. I, they're gonna play. All three of them gonna play on the team, and it's gonna be stupid. It's gonna be hella stupid. But besides that, anything else?
Oh no, shit, we can wrap it up. I think this is a pretty good one. I was
All
kind
right.
of reading up on some shit with because people are saying like Kevin Gates and his wife broke up, and so they're saying like, is it the same type of thing? You know, where's the energy for that? But I'm like, I need the story. Like, we don't have like two people that should be evolving in a sense, and one just turning them down because they just rather be out here slutting it up. Like, I kind of need the story. So I mean, I don't know. I guess they've been like separated for some months now, from what I've just
His
read.
wife, bad Drea, is so fucking
Yeah,
fire.
Drika Gates.
Yeah, Drika. Oh my god, boy.
Yeah, she all right. But I don't know. He a little weird anyway, so I just don't even know. I don't know.
I don't know how the fuck he pulled her, boy. Some people, I just don't get it. Man. But more power to him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to call that one, but yeah, shit. I don't know. We could wrap it up. Maybe we'll get more information and then speak on it.
All right, Scott Free. He said,
Man, thank you for making our job a little bit easier by stopping through. It's a lot easier to be able to talk to some of y'all than,
yeah,
just do it, just us. But yeah, we trying to come at y'all a little bit more, fresh content.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I used to
you kind of got to watch it to know that, don't you?
I
But
know
there are some though. I ain't gonna lie.
Hold on, before we get off, let me see who T. Cooper is.
I'm trying to think of what's her name.
No.
Aja. I feel so bad because she plays for us.
Yeah, she is pretty though. I ain't gonna lie. Scott Free, yeah, baby. And she kind of thick too.
Yeah, I'd have to see.
Oh, she kind of like look like a bird, but she pretty though too.
You kind of look like a bird, but yeah, you killed it. I ain't pulling her up now.
No.
It's
Certain
over.
it's the pictures, but it's one picture. I don't know who this girl is. Like, no, she ugly. But yeah, T. Cooper, Rashida Gray brings to the Sparks. Yeah, but ain't she? She's the white Howard's old girlfriend, ain't she? Yeah, I heard about her. Yeah, Candace Parker. Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir. That's guaranteed. Yes, sir. But besides that, that's hold on, because he put me on the other side. That's Jay Almighty. That's Geraldine. 2 names. I'm Super Dope Keys, and you just been chin checked.
Bah!
Let's go. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.
Yes. I cannot say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. With me, you're heading now, babe.
Now what you trying to be? Crying to every guy you see. Game that usually work on them lanes, but you can't lie to me. Living in irony, truth but not entirely. Beauty skin deep and you only deep as the eye can see. Doing with manual, stack my chips on the annual, but you average your best and that's word to Kevin Samuels. Now what's your predicate? Strong but still delicate. Offering package deal, but with me, what's the relevance? Can have anyone instead of you. Get some sense what you better do. Expecting me to change when I'm 30 steps up ahead of you. Lot of lies been fed to you. Hold up your scarlet letter too. And since you know better, I think it's time you do better, boo. It's acceptable in the moment with no opponent. Knowing you really want it is magical if you own it. You dying to get a cut, I'm dying to get a nut. So keep your good lies, cause I'm buying no matter what.